Dave today. Now, Amy Mark scores Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Let's take it from the top.
Good morning, friends.
We did it.
It is the day. We did it. We got through Election Day. It is November 6th, 2024, and it is the Chris and Amy Show. Good to have you with us today. And we need you to download the Odyssey app immediately, and there's a big reason for it.
Yeah.
We have this feature where you can leave us a voice message. In fact, if you download the latest version of it, the little button says, leave a message. You can leave us a message, and we do want to hear from you today after the election pretty much has been decided. It is over. It is done with. It is the next day, and we already know who the winners are, with the exception of some in Congress, and that is all coming up. But we want to hear from you. Get the Odyssey app today and leave us a message and tell us your thoughts. Amy Mark scores Chris Ranji. The phone number is 314-436-7900. We're on that Odyssey app streaming live, podcast later. Facebook Live, Twitter, at Chris Amy KMOX, where you can watch us if you want.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everybody will be talking about.
Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. He is the president-elect, getting a second term.
Josh Hawley retains his seat in the Senate. Missouri has a new governor, and Mike Kehoe. Wesley Bell will be the representative for the 1st District, and Amendments 2 and 3 pass. A lot of local election news.
And the Blues' Dylan Holloway is in stable condition after a pretty scary moment in the game last night, hit in the neck by a puck. We will discuss all of that and see if we get the latest from Matt Pauley, who will join us at 11:30. Hancock and Kelly will be with us at noon. We'll break down what happened. They were here in the KMOX studio late last night. They were going back and forth between our KMOX election night coverage, which was fantastic. Michael Calhoun and Megan Lynch on that. Rachel Zimmerman, a part of it as well. Of course, Hancock and Kelly. Then they were walking down the hall where a studio was set up with Fox 2, and they were part of all of that. So great job done by them. Representative-elect Wesley Bell will join the show today. And Major Garrett is going to be with us, usually on Thursday, but because it is such a big day with the news from last night, so Major's with us at 10:30. So I went into the election, Amy, and I said that, and everybody I talked to, you had people who said, I'm nervous, I think he's going to win, or I'm nervous, I think she's going to win. And I said, there are 3 possible outcomes. One is he wins by a lot. 2, she wins by a lot, or 3, it's very close, and it's one of the, either one. And all of them, to me, were totally feasible. And it looks like he's going to win by a considerable amount and win the popular vote. At least that's what it looks like right now. He has 276 electoral votes. President-elect Trump does. She has 223. It is not over. We are hearing that she is going to speak today at 3 o'clock. And we are going to carry those comments live here on KMOX.
Right. And by it's not over, meaning it's not official yet. She'll give her concession speech or the speech.
And she's expected to call him to concede.
Yeah.
Which is a very important idea. That's what we do when we lose elections. We concede.
Yeah. And you mentioned the popular vote with Donald Trump getting well over 71 million votes. Kamala Harris got well over 66 million votes. So the good news is, among all these conversations that we will be having in the next couple of days, complaining about the Electoral College won't be one of them because he did handily win the popular vote. And Ron, you're right. Like going into the election, nobody knew. Whether you talked to national political experts or reporters, local political experts or reporters, we're not experts, but we sit here and opine every day and pay more attention to it than is healthy, probably. I had no idea. I said yesterday, if someone said you have to walk the plank, right? I feel like that's a better analogy than the other one. If you have to walk the plank and or you have to give me your guess who you think is going to win. I did say, I think Donald Trump's going to win. And that feeling, I was pretty ambivalent over the past 3 or 4 weeks where for a while I thought she was going to win. then I thought he was going to win. And it went back and forth. But going into yesterday, if I were forced on my life to make a guess, my guess was Donald Trump was going to win. What I didn't expect is for it to be such a large margin of victory.
Well, here's what's interesting, and I will wait for the final total to know exactly what it is electorally. But I thought one of the interesting bits from the exit polling, and you can't always totally trust exit polling, but I looked through some of the different news networks, and there's NBC, CNN, so on and so forth, and a lot of them are pretty similar. The results are,
Yeah.
So I think you have a pretty good idea of what's reality. One of the most interesting bits that came out of it is that people who decided within the last week made their decision within the last week, and it wasn't a large number of people, but the people who did broke for him. So if people who voted or who decided within the last 3 days or within the last week, most of them went to Donald Trump, which was very interesting. The other categories, people who had decided either in September, October, or prior to September, had all gone for her.
Yeah. No, that is really interesting because, and I talked to several people who said they decided when they sat down. And I always tell
That's
myself,
wild.
and I always tell myself that, Amy,
wild.
somehow you must be among the minority, right? Whether it is kind of the more moderate Republican, not really part of the MAGA movement, or people who were undecided, or people who felt like, I don't know if I'm going to vote for Harris or Trump. That is, I kept telling myself that has to be a minority. And I think to a point it was. We talked to Hancock and Kelly yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
It was.
And I said, how wrong can the polls be? Because all of the polls across the country said it was close. And I thought, is there a chance that it could not be close? And I think, obviously there was. It's just the closeness of the polls basically means we just can't tell you who's going to win, not necessarily that the margin would be close.
So yeah, let's talk about that real quick, because right now he is up by just under 5 million votes. So I don't know what the final total is, and I'm talking about elect or popular vote. Obviously, he's got 71.6 million votes. She has 66.7 million votes, and that could change. And the margin, the gap could change too. But we when we were talking to them, or maybe it wasn't them. I'm not sure. It was somebody yesterday. I made the point that it could end up being that he carries all of those swing states, all 7 of them. But and it'll look like an electoral landslide, which will be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is a gigantic landslide in terms of raw total votes. It could still be that they're pretty close in votes. Now, I don't know how this is going to work out in the end, but right now he's winning, and it'll be the first time winning the popular vote that a Republican will have done that in 20 years.
Yeah, right. That's when I saw the popular vote numbers. Right now, like you said, up by 5 million votes about, and where that final number lands, we'll find out. But I am glad in that sense that whoever won, it was both the Electoral College and the popular vote. It was interesting feeling last night and this morning because we talked about the double haters, and meaning voters who really hate Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, right? They're not excited about either one. Hate's a strong word. I would say a double disliker, not crazy about either candidate. And you have to make a decision. What are your priorities? Who are you going to vote for? How do you weigh those priorities when you go in to vote? I make your decision. But if you are not thrilled about either candidate, it's weird how you might not have super strong feelings either way when the election is decided. You know what I mean? Like, I know there are some people who feel very, very strongly. My feed is blown up with people who are devastated and people who are thrilled. But I wonder if there's a lot of people in the middle who felt like either way, there were going to be elements about which they are very disappointed, and other elements where they're like, that's okay.
There are, this is from the exit polling on CNN, and for those who had an unfavorable opinion of both of them, and this was 8% of the votes, 8% of their exit polling voters, he won 55-32.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That is also fascinating to me because we know so much about him, and the people who have strong feelings against him have had those feelings for 8 years. So to then win the margin of people who hate both of these opponents or don't like both of these candidates, for him to, he didn't double her up, but 55-32 is a huge margin.
It is.
It's interesting that many people went for him.
A couple thoughts too. I do think with abortion being on the ballot in so many states, I do think that freed up a lot of women who might otherwise have voted for Harris on the reproductive rights platform. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of women who are pro-choice, but also very concerned about the economy and immigration. And if you look at Trump voters, and this was also with CNN exit polls as well, Trump voters were most concerned about the economy and immigration. But women's reproductive rights, abortion, that's a really big deal for a lot of female voters. But if you were in Missouri and you said, you know what, I can enshrine abortion rights in the Missouri Constitution or any of the other 9 states where there were abortion rights on the ballot, I do think that might have freed up some female voters to vote in favor of pro-choice legislation and then vote for a Republican candidate who they feel will be stronger on the border and with the economy and deregulation and so forth.
Not enough, I don't think, to change the entire election, but there were some for sure. In terms of the CNN exit polling, the 3 most impactful or most important items, the things that people were most concerned about, democracy was 35%. That was the first one. Okay. Then it was abortion at 14.
This is both
is
Trump
exit
and
polling.
Harris.
This is everybody. All the voters. Democracy was 35%, then abortion at 14, then immigration at 11. Interestingly enough, people who felt like democracy was very threatened, they went for him by a 50-48 margin. Also unbelievable. We are welcoming your messages on Facebook, on YouTube. Again, you can text us at 314-436-7900. Leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app. We'd really love to hear your voice. You can do that. Chris and Amy show the day after the election here on KMOX.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-221-6319. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-221-6319.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-221-6319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-221-6319, or go to oxcarcare.com.
The Musial Awards return to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 23rd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event hosted right here in St. Louis. It's a night to be entertained and inspired. Tickets at musialawards.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, Go to hims.com/joy.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode? And if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Lance Drury Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Lance Drury Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Lance Drury, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
With the new year, it's time to make sure you have the best vision for 2024. That means scheduling your annual eye exam with Ophthalmology Associates. Call 314-966-5000.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
At KMOX, our focus is you, your go-to station for local news that matters to St. Louis and the region. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
I followed election coverage last night from a number of different media outlets. The best and most professional of the bunch was KMOX, especially Megan Lynch. She was professional and unbiased, and I really appreciated what she did.
Awesome. KMOX does it great. And next time there's an election 4 years from now, you should be listening in.
And probably in between that time.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying come back in 4 years.
Right.
I'm saying you stay here pretty much all the time, and then make sure that you're definitely here 4 years from now. So Megan Lynch, Michael Calhoun, Hancock, and Kelly, all on the coverage last night. Again, John and Michael are going to join the show in the 12 o'clock hour. They'll be with us at noon. Let's get to a couple of calls, should we? 314-436-7900. Jim is with us. Jim in St. Louis. Hello, Jim.
Yeah, election coverage was excellent all around last night. Kelly and Hancock, they got it wrong, which, is to be expected sometimes. But I want to know, the pardon watch for Hunter Biden, I think, is officially on now. And I really believe that Joe Biden and his administration is going to pardon his son, which he said he wasn't going to do. But you know what? That's okay. It is what it is. And it's time to move on, bring the country together if it's possible, and see what happens. And it's just kind of weird it's just kind of odd that all the hype and all the talk of all the brutal things that were going to happen on both sides after the election is not going to happen, I hope. And I hope as it goes forward, the transition of power is crucial. A lot of people said it didn't happen last time, so be it. But where's the other 15 million votes that Joe Biden got? Where did they go? Or did they not just show up?
Well, it kind of, and Jim, thanks for the call. It kind of sounds like she lost a lot of the ground that he made up in 2020. Because if you go through a lot of the counties, even the ones he won, he gained ground in the ones he won, and even the ones she won, he gained ground on those. Even though she still won those counties in all the swing states, he's not going to pardon Hunter Biden. I'm no chance, and no, there's not going to be any violence that I can foresee, because she's going to concede. She's going to concede today. She's going to call him to concede, and then she's going to give a speech at 3:00, which we will carry. And that concession is a big reason that it will avoid violence.
And in 2 months, she will certify the election that she lost.
That's correct.
As
She'll
vice
certify
president,
it.
she will certify the election that she lost. It is interesting, though, to see the changing electorate, Ranj, to the caller's points about where, certain votes went for Harris or where they went for Trump. For instance, in New York, now
He made ground in New York, too.
Biden won New York by 23 percentage points in 2020, but Donald Trump only trailed Harris by 5 percentage points yesterday. That's a lot of lost ground. Now, obviously, Kamala Harris still won New York, but you go from 23 percentage points to 5 percentage points margin of victory. That's a big difference. We also saw a big shift among Latino voters, where Donald Trump scored somewhere between 41 and 45% of the Hispanic vote. It's not a huge surprise. It's a big shift.
He took Latino men by a 54-44 margin. Ken in Cedar Hill with us. Hello, Ken.
Hello. Good morning to you both. My only concern is I was fearful that he would win, and I was for Harris all the way. And the only reason I was really for Harris is not because of their policies. They both have good policies. I'm afraid of Donald Trump's backlash. Now he's got immunity from the Supreme Court that he can do whatever he wants to. It sounds like he's already got control of the Senate. It sounds like he might have control of the House. So he's going to be able to do whatever the hell he wants to do. And there's no stopping him.
Well, I appreciate the call, Ken. I think I really don't know what's going to happen next. I would be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little concerned about what would happen next, especially when he spent so many months on the campaign trail talking about retribution and talking about, I'm going to go after this guy. I'm going to pull this license from this media outlet because they're not fair to me. Stuff like that. I really don't know what he's going to do, but if the Republicans have all three branches, I would at least have my radar up.
Yeah, I think that is one thing to look into the Supreme Court's ruling, how it was somewhat ambiguous when it came to presidential immunity, but was far more generous than I think people thought it would be. On the flip side, if you do have vengeful talk about retribution or going after Biden, that immunity rule applies to Biden as well. So in that sense, I do think perhaps the Supreme Court was trying to calm things down in that sense.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if it's that or they were just looking to protect him, but we'll see. Major Garrett is going to join us. He was on the map last night on CBS. He's the chief Washington correspondent, and he'll visit with us when we come back on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
If you needed one more reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler, get this. Diamonds Direct maintains involvement in the entire diamond process and handpicks the best just for you. You see, any jeweler can claim to be a direct importer or have so-called partnerships overseas, but Diamonds Direct has special access that others simply don't have. Nobody can get closer to the source than Diamonds Direct. Indeed, Diamonds Direct is recognized in the industry as a world diamond powerhouse with unrivaled buying power and decades of inside connections that go back to their roots as actual diamond cutters. Bottom line, Diamonds Direct is without question the jeweler here that can truly offer the absolute best value. We're true talking direct importer prices on hand-selected diamonds that come straight from the source. Make no mistake, Diamonds Direct refuses to be undersold on GIA-certified diamonds. And we challenge you, let us prove it. Diamonds Direct, your source for the ultimate diamond value. Proud to call the Lou home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
You're leaving for work, but the garage door won't open. Is it the opener? Is the spring broken? Now you're late and your car is trapped. Well, don't panic. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is here with same-day emergency service. They won't leave you stuck. The original Red Ribbon Garage Door Company, trusted in St. Louis since 1926. Call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. Life can throw us curveballs, like the car accident that put me in a coma 30 years ago. We all have bumps in the road. Lucky for us, we have Renner to get our garage door back on track. Click RENNER door STL.com today. Giddy up!
A person makes the time for what they love.
And we make the space. 1-800-GOT-JUNK makes the space.
We make the space for possibility.
The space for yoga.
The space for lifting weights.
The space for dancing.
The space for living your best life.
And what does a person need to do to make all this happen?
All you have to do is point.
We make space for possibility.
When you want to make junk disappear,
call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Can't make it to Kansas City for the big game? No problem.
Kelsey, three-point stance to the left. Here comes an inside blitz.
Experience every Kansas City Chiefs game like you're in the front row at Ballpark Village.
25-20, downfield block, 10-5.
Join fellow KMOX Chief fans on game day and feel the roar of the crowd right here in St. Louis.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
Chiefs watch parties, presented by Jim Beam.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Onder Law, we deliver big judgments for the little guy. Onder Law takes on the biggest industries and holds them accountable. Call today for a free review at 314 or 618-9-MILLION.
We have sunny skies, 56 degrees at 10:31. I'm Megan Lynch. Congratulations this hour from a former president to President-elect Trump.
I'm Stacey Lynn at the White House. In a post on Instagram, former President George W. Bush wrote in part, "I congratulate President Trump on his election as 47th President of the United States of America. I also thank President Biden and Vice President Harris for their service to our country. The strong turnout in this election is a sign of the health of our republic and the strength of our democratic institutions."
And checking the roads this hour, it looks like that crash that we had on southbound 170 has been at 64 has been moved over to the shoulder. We do have some emergency vehicles reported on westbound 64 on the ramp to Skinker Boulevard. So just use caution if you're on there. It looks like they have moved everything off to the left-hand shoulder. Also debris reported now 255 eastbound just past Telegraph Road. Checking the forecast for today, looks like we're going to have mostly sunny skies. It'll be cooler but pleasant, a high 63, partly cloudy early tonight, an overnight low of 45. Right now, 56 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world, and sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station, and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
What better way to support your nutrition than with the multivitamin that was created right here in St. Louis? Neovitin Original Multivitamin was created by St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki to support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Now, Neovitin Original Multivitamin is formulated with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend to give you nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Neovitin is now conveniently available through our no-obligation monthly subscription. Cancel or pause at any time, and shipping is free. Support your nutrition with a subscription to Neovitin at neovitin.com today.
The Photo Pros, formerly Creve Core Camera, will preserve your family history. Bring in your old home movies, VHS, DVDs, slides, memory cards, and those piles of photos. But do it soon before the holidays. The Photo Pros will put everything on a thumb drive for you to share with the entire family, and nothing leaves St. Louis. Only trust a local company with your memories. Go to photoprosstl.com or Google Creve Core Camera or call 314-567-3456.
Podcast The Bernie Miklasz Show today on the free Odyssey app and follow to receive Bernie's daily take on Cardinals, Blues, or whatever else is in the news. AUDACY.
Are you ready to go back to the future? That's where we're going on Monday, January 20, 2025.
Okay. We appreciate the voice messages. You are welcome to leave them on the Odyssey app. You know where to get it. Your Google Play Store, or what is it? Apple Store. What do they call it? What do you Apple people call it?
App Store.
App Store.
The App Store.
Yeah. Odyssey app is there where you can leave us a voice message, listen to KMOX, take us wherever you go.
Mhm.
We are looking to connect with Major Garrett here in a moment. We are certain that he is very busy. Normally we talk to him on Thursday mornings at 10:30, but because it is the day after the election, we thought this would be a great time to talk to him because, well, it's decided. We know what's happening. We've spent most of the morning so far talking about the presidential race, and Donald Trump is going to get a second term. He will technically be the 45th and 47th president.
And the first president since Grover Cleveland to have a split term back in the 1800s.
Couple amendments passed, and we are going to talk about those as well. I am very tired today, Amy, because
Yes.
I got no sleep.
Like a doofus?
Because I expect everything was pretty much settled. We knew that the abortion amendment, the reproductive rights amendment 3 had passed. We knew who won the Hawley Kuntz race, and it was Josh Hawley. We knew who won the governor race, and that was Mike Kehoe. We knew all of this stuff. But it's like 12:30, and we still don't have a resolution on Amendment 2, the sports betting bill. So I'm refreshing, and I'm refreshing. And I keep looking at the counts.
Yeah.
And they still haven't called it. And I'm looking at the Secretary of State's website and I'm watching those unofficial totals come in and sports betting's ahead. But there are all these counties, Cape Girardeau was not reporting and Camden wasn't reporting. And I'm like, come on, guys, finally. And it was like 33,000 votes was the margin. And then it shrank all the way down. Finally, sports betting passed at about, I guess it was like 2:15, 2:30 last night. And I finally was able to go to bed, or this morning, 2:30. And the sports betting bill did pass by less than 7,500 votes.
Wow. It's crazy.
There were almost 3 million votes cast on that measure, and it passed by less than 7,500.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the Amendment 2 vote margin across all the counties across the state of Missouri, there were a lot of no votes really straight down the center of the state. The higher percentage of yes votes, not surprisingly, were the two major cities in our state, Kansas City and St. Louis, which is funny because someone noted that it's pretty funny that Missouri's two largest cities both look like they're desperately trying to get out of the state. They're on the edges. But no, it passed. The yes votes were overwhelmingly in Kansas City and St. Louis. Honestly, I didn't think
and St. Charles County.
And St. Charles, thank you. I didn't think it would be this close. And it's funny because I thought, oh, this is going to pass by a lot. And then I heard Hancock and Kelly say, no, there's a chance this thing doesn't pass. It could be close. And I don't know why I was oblivious to the fact that maybe because I feel like the only person who wasn't keen on sports gambling on principle, which I get, it's going to pass. You're going to keep the money in the state. I get it. I do think the more accessible gambling is, of course, it's going to increase the number of people gambling and so forth and so forth. But at any rate, I didn't expect it to be this close.
Me neither. I thought the number was correct when SLU did the poll back in August, the number was something like 57% in favor of, which is a pretty big margin. And so I thought, okay, it's going to pass. But then, you start to have people who read more about it, and then you see the campaigns against it, which eventually took hold. But you're right. I mean, looking at the counties that did have more yes votes than no, we're talking the city, St. Louis City, the county, St. Charles, Ray County, Platte County. Let's see, what else do we have here? The bigger counties, Lincoln County, just barely underneath. Kansas City voted overwhelmingly for it.
Yep.
Jackson County voted overwhelmingly for it.
In the boot heel, Pemiscot.
I don't know what that is.
Pemiscot County.
Clay County voted
overwhelmingly yes.
A lot for it, and Cass County.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's interesting. Like we were saying here, the amendment no's are purple, yeses are green, and really the yeses, they are concentric circles spanning out from Kansas City and St. Louis, and lots of purple in the middle. Boone County, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
smack dab in the middle, it is green. But yeah, I thought maybe I was one of the few prudes. I guess there were more prudes. And I wonder too, the no votes. Again, I was like one of the few on principles. We talked about Denny Hoskins and Bill Eigel holding up sports betting in Missouri, but that was because of the video gaming lottery. It's not because they're
Yeah.
against gambling. And of course, there's Caesars
Yeah,
that was
Caesars is against
pushing
it, right.
against sports gambling here in Missouri. And I thought, oh, maybe I'm one of the few prudes. However, I do wonder, did people vote no because they doubted the money would go to education? Did they vote no because they're prudes
I
like
think-
me?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of that. And there are people who believe that the money that would come in from this, that was
Mhm.
supposed to go to education, would have been in lieu of money already going to education.
Got it,
Money that's
yeah.
appropriated for education. So it would have been taken away.
I feel like-
which I don't think is the case. But it's not even the reason. And we've talked about this a lot. If you're going to advocate for it, I wouldn't have even put,
No.
if it were me, my campaign would have been, people are doing this anyway in this state. The money either stays in Missouri or it goes to bordering states. You decide.
Yeah.
You
No,
decide what you want
I
to have
agree.
happen.
I would have kept education out. So my argument for it would have been, like you said, hey, Missouri is the only state in the neighborhood that is losing money. My argument against it would have been, hey, the more accessible you make gambling, the more people are going to gamble who may otherwise might not have, because if it's in your pocket, it's a lot easier than driving over to Illinois, and here are the ways
course.
gambling can hurt society. So to me, those were two very simple arguments. I don't know why it always centers on education.
Yeah, because people think it's a winner.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is. In this case, I'm not sure what the best message would have been, but it does ultimately pass by less than 7,500 votes. And by December of next year, so we're looking about a year away, though there apparently it could potentially start prior to that. But the target date is December of next year that you'll be able to bet in Missouri. Voice messages on the Odyssey app.
I have a suggestion for manning our voting places. Let's give college students the day off from school and have them work the voting places. Maybe a couple of older people that have done this for years. But if we would train our college students in how the process works, there would be no complaining about that the elections were rigged. They would see that the election was fair and not mangled in any way.
I'm not sure it's college students that think that.
No, I feel like, right.
And appreciate the voice
I
message,
do,
Terry.
yeah. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to let college students and everybody have the day off, or to volunteer and be more involved, I think is always a good idea. But yeah, I don't think the stolen election or that the claims of fraud are coming primarily from the college students.
Yeah, I've not gotten that impression. Another
Or that it's because people working are old. I don't think that's the argument.
No, I don't know, but no, I
Yeah.
think it's a good idea for any age group
Mhm.
to participate in something like that.
Hey, Chris and Amy. Chris made the comment that many people have had a bad opinion of Trump for 8 years. Well, for this voter, I didn't care for a lot of things he had, but the candidates that ran against him were worse. Now, my question is, how can we possibly have a president who has released classified documents and then probably should not be granted a security clearance? How can you run the country without a security clearance? Just saying.
Well, he's not going to lose. I mean, obviously not going to lose that. There are a lot of people who have that concern about him and whether or not he is judicious with the things that he knows that he tells people he shouldn't tell, or leaders of other countries he shouldn't tell. You know, and I think
he's a wild card. I mean, he was a wild card in 2016, 17, 18, and 19. Like, he's always been unpredictable, destabilizing, chaotic, however you want to say it. That's and people say that's what they love about him, right? People don't know what to think. They don't know what to expect. He keeps people on their toes. So you can look at that as a positive or a negative, that he brings an element of chaos and unpredictability and impulse. So Yeah, I don't know. Here's the one thing that I know is he will be sworn in as the president of the United States, and I'm an American, and I want the president to do well. So I hope that things go well.
And I don't think you can overstate what is going to happen today and how important it is.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen today is the loser of this election, Kamala Harris, is going to concede. According to reporting, she has already called him, but they weren't able to connect, but she did reach out already. She is speaking at 3:00, and we are going to carry that live on KMOX. She's going to concede.
Well,
and that is important. It's important because
critical.
You're right. It's more than important. It is
Yeah.
critical because all of the crap that has happened over the last 4 years and the denial of the elections and then basically the tacit approval given to lower levels of election people seeking office, like Carrie Lake, for example, to continue to say they were robbed of their elections. It's, it is so important. And I said this yesterday. People are like, well, no matter what happens, there's going to be a riot. If she loses no, there's not. Yeah. There's not going to be a riot because she's going to say this was a free and fair election and I lost it. And that's what you're supposed to do.
And also, again, it's interesting because for the first time since Al Gore had to do so, she will certify the election, which is certifying her loss, which is kind of an interesting, it doesn't happen all the time. But like we said, Al Gore had to certify his loss in the infamous Bush v. Gore election, and she'll certify her loss in a couple of months. And that's a good thing. And like I said, we want to hear from you because this was definitely an election where no matter who won, you vote how you vote. You have to weigh your priorities. What's more important to you, especially if you don't happen to be a huge fan of either candidate. We know a lot of people weren't. But when you aren't a huge fan of either candidate, there are going to be certain things that were going to concern you if one person won, and certain things that are going to concern you if another person won. And so I imagine there are a lot of people who have a weird amalgam of maybe a little bit of relief and a little bit of concern, or a lot of bit of relief and a lot of bit of concern. I would love to hear from people to see, how do you feel? Like, some people are thrilled, some people are devastated, but I do think there are people in the middle.
Text messages are welcome. This one says Harris is going to concede because she got her butt kicked. Well, Trump kind of got his butt kicked in 2020 electorally and by a lot of popular votes, and he didn't concede. So it's not about the margin of loss. It's about the fact that everybody knows our elections are secure and nothing nefarious happened in 2020. Amy Marks, Coors, Chris Ranji. Again, we'll hope to connect with Major Garrett at some point before the show is over here on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. While we celebrate the reversal of Roe v. Wade, there is still much work to be done to support life and pregnant women before they cross state lines. Together, we can provide the love, support, and options that women need to choose life for their children. Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535, 800-511-3535, or biglou.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for Michael's Baths. Thinking about a new bathroom for Christmas? When you're ready to remodel your bathroom, get rid of the old shower and replace it with something more modern, maybe a walk-in shower with safety features. Call Mike and his team, family owned and locally owned, always 30 to 50% lower than the competition. Michael's has all 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ BBB rating. Michael's Baths, 636-775-0800. That's 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
The Roots and Boots Tour 90s Electric Throwdown with Sammy Kershaw,
That's my story.
Colin Ray,
That's my
and Aaron Tippett. This Saturday night at 7 at the Family Arena.
There ain't nothing wrong.
Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. Roots and Boots Tour 90s Electric Throwdown. Step into a world of enchantment this holiday season with Cirque Musica Holiday Wonderland. From awe-inspiring acrobatics to gravity-defying aerial feats, it's the perfect fusion of circus artistry and beloved holiday songs in a celebration guaranteed to create memories for the entire family. December 5th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. On sale at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Inspire your holiday spirit with Cirque Musica Holiday Wonderland.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from thegelmanteam.com. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side fighting for every last dollar. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
KMOX, your go-to for family-friendly discussions of topics that matter to you. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy?
Ranj, did you look at the stock markets yesterday?
Yeah.
It's interesting to kind of follow the stock markets. Bitcoin was absolutely exploding as it appeared that Donald Trump would secure a victory last night. Stocks also surged as the stock market right now seems pretty positive, waking up to a boom. That's good.
Yeah, that's what happens when there's certainty. Had this dragged on for another 3 or 4 days, the regardless of who was leading the election, the stock market would have been pretty volatile, maybe even dropped quite a bit. But people who own stocks, they like certainty. Certainty is extremely important, and the fact that this election is settled is very important.
So Treasury yields spiked. The dollar hit its highest level in a year. Shares in Trump media went up. Bitcoin surged to a record of more than $75,300. The bonds were not so much because there's still some uncertainty. So bonds were like whatever if you have bonds, but if you have like Treasury, you're going to be good.
Yeah, and the stock market's been up. It's been high for a while. It's been steadily going back up since the middle of last year. And where it is right now at this very moment is about 300 points higher than its highest point, which was in the middle of October. So it's been doing well, and it's going to continue to go up. And let's hope that the economy stays good under the next president. You probably saw that during the election last night that several swing states, 5 of them that they know about, there were over 50 bomb threats, uncredible bomb threats that were phoned in from Russia, according to the FBI and according to local law enforcement. Again, there were no credible threats. But I think this is something that needs to be paid attention to. And in no way, before you lose your mind, am I saying that this election was swayed because of the bomb threats, because it wasn't. She was going to lose anyway. But it is decidedly not a good thing if we have a foreign actor that is meddling as much as Russia has been meddling over the last 8 years and does something like that on election day and phoning in bomb threats to precincts around the country, forcing some polling places to be closed for a period of time, that is very much not good, and there has to be some repercussions for that because it cannot happen again.
Right. And that'd be interesting to talk to someone about, okay, who's going to look further into this? What kind of action can you take on a way less significant scale, but it affects our daily lives? You know how when you go to Walmart or Walgreens or wherever, certain products are in those locked glass cases. It could be deodorant. It could be teeth whiteners.
Okay.
Sometimes shower gel. I don't know why.
Sometimes you get detergent.
Detergent.
It has high resale value on the street.
There you go. So Walmart's testing a new technology that allows shopper to unlock those cases with their phones. It's a company called IndieMe, or Indime, but I think it's IndieMe, says 26 retailers are using what they call a Freedom Case. So you take your phone, you type in your phone number into a touchscreen device. It gives you a code that then unlocks the case guarding your detergent or whatever it may be.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I guess that gives a little bit more, you can track those items a little bit more if you are using if you are stealing those products to sell.
So we had a pretty good feeling that Wesley Bell, who was running for the District 1 seat in Missouri, as he unseated Cori Bush during the primary, and it's a heavily Democratic area, we figured he was going to win, and that's exactly what happened. So Representative-elect Wesley Bell will be with us in studio when we come back. It's Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Seeing the world around you is so important. So take care of your eyes. And why would you trust them to just anyone? The best doctors to see for your best vision are the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Berry. The Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. Things like dry eye, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma. They do LASIK surgery at Ophthalmology Associates. And yes, they can check your eyes to see if your prescription is still the right one for you, for your glasses and contacts. This will be the most thorough eye exam that you have ever had in your life, because really your eyes are a window into the health of the rest of you. So please take care of your vision and see the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000, or make your appointment today at youridoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey folks, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house on the walls, patios, walkways, porch, or chimneys? If so, this might be a great time to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. What's tuck pointing? It's the removal of old mortar and the replacement of new mortar on a wall or chimney. Sometimes that mortar can become loose, missing, or deeply eroded. We've used the Morelli team to tuck point the Brennan home several times, and in fact, this winter, we noticed the bricks that line the ground near our porch in the backyard had gotten out of line and looked pretty cattywampus. One call, Morelli Tuck Pointing, the job was done. Morelli's the company that's won the Angie's List Super Service Award every year, back to back to back since 2005. Check out their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. The Masonry Specialists, 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckpointing.com.
It is 11 o'clock, and right now we've got partly cloudy skies, 59 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Donald Trump becomes the first person in more than 100 years to win the White House after losing it.
Vice President Harris is expected to deliver her concession speech around 6 p.m. Eastern time this evening from Howard University. Also, according to NBC News, she'll call the now president-elect Trump to concede. A White House official says President Biden is also planning to call Mr. Trump today and speak publicly about the results.
That's CBS's Stacey Lynn. Blame for Trump's defeat of Harris is being pinned on President Biden not dropping out of the race sooner. John Shaw, director of the Paul Simon Public Policy Institute at SIU Carbondale, says Biden should have bowed out after the 2022 midterms.
Vice President Harris is expected to deliver her concession speech.
Of course, he thought that that would ignite a huge scramble and it'd be bloody and acrimonious and so forth. Clearly, in retrospect, that would have been a better decision for him to decide, early in 23 to step out.
It took until the wee hours of the morning to find out that Amendment 2 to legalize sports betting passed in Missouri by the narrowest of margins.
And so this is kind of impressive if you kind of consider about it, because this is probably the most expensive race kind of in the state of Missouri, and it came down to 7,500 votes itself.
Steve Rogers, political science professor and pollster at St. Louis University, says sports betting only passed by about 0.3%. Based on their YouGov polling, he expected both Amendments 2 and 3 to pass, but
I would have thought Amendment 3 was going to probably get a little bit more support, and sports betting was going to get a little bit more support.
He says it's not the last time we'll deal with abortion, though. The next legislative session will no doubt be putting parameters into law. Shimon Shawak volunteered to gather signatures to get the abortion rights proposal on the ballot.
I'm hoping that next week, when some woman shows up at an emergency room and she's having a miscarriage, that they don't turn her away and they actually give her care. I'm hoping that some woman doesn't die next week because doctors feel like they can provide medical care to women when they need it.
3 of the 4 proposed changes to the St. Louis City Charter were approved overwhelmingly. The changes create the first ever transportation department in the city, increase fines on vacant properties, and establish a new tax on short-term rentals. What failed to pass was a proposition increasing the power of the Board of Aldermen over the city's budget. That would have allowed them to increase funding for departments. CBS News meteorologist Tony Sadiku says Hurricane Rafael is closing in on the tip of Cuba, packing maximum sustained winds of 90 miles per hour.
This is still a hurricane. It moves in the Gulf of Mexico, but ahead of it, tropical moisture funnels into parts of the southeast. So from Florida, Georgia, into South Carolina, rounds of heavy rain over the coming days as the storm likely loses some intensity in the Gulf of Mexico.
From the KMOX business desk, Balkan Treat Box is closed until further notice. The acclaimed Webster Groves restaurant posted the closure without explanation on social media, saying only, "Thank you for your continued support. We hope to see you soon." Owner Lauren Nalick is a 3-time James Beard Award nominee. She and her husband started out with a food truck in 2016, quickly gained national praise from publications, and then opened their Webster restaurant in 2019, then opened Telva at the Ridge recently, also in Webster. Nothing like yesterday at this time, but we do have some road work that is causing issues. 70 westbound past First Capitol Drive, the left lane is closed. 270 northbound to 70 westbound, all lanes are closed, including the right exit closed until around 11:30. Let's get a look at your forecast.
A pretty November afternoon with partly to mostly sunny skies in play. 63 should do it for the high. Remember, with the time change, the high temperature this time of year happens about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, 50s for evening plans, 46 for the low. On Thursday, keeping it dry, mostly sunny, 60. Friday, keeping it dry, partly sunny, 62. But the next round of rain from the southwest moving in here late Friday night and will be around Saturday and most of Saturday night. Probably about a half inch to an inch of rain out of this one. So not quite as intense as the last one. It should all clear out on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Abe Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, we've got partly cloudy skies and 59 degrees. The weather sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Chances are you have a lot of people who depend on you, your family, maybe even employees. Life insurance from Penn Mutual can provide you peace of mind and protect the most important people in your life. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. It is 11:05. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Need money for a new home? The Carpenters Union is offering up to $10,000 to all McKelvey home buyers. Use these funds to cover your closing costs or secure a fixed 30-year mortgage rate. Visit McKelvey Homes and secure your dream home with unmatched quality and value.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Chris and Amy Show, sponsored by St. Louis University Billikens Basketball. Choose your seats for 5 or more games and receive savings off the single game ticket price with a 5-game mini pack starting at $75. Purchase now at slubillikens.com.
Amy Marks, Coors, Chris Ranji on KMOX, and with us in studio is the representative-elect of District 1 in the state of Missouri, a seat that is currently held by Cori Bush. Wesley Bell, the Democrat, is with us in studio. Mr. Bell, good to see you, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here, as always.
How was yesterday? What was the election day like for you?
It was sweet with a little bit of bitterness in there. From the big picture standpoint, obviously, with our race, we knew what was going to happen, so we were very much in a celebratory mood with friends, family, supporters, and things of that nature. With some of the amendments, particularly Amendment 3 that passed in a very strong fashion in this state. That was obviously something that we were expecting and hoping for. But then also, obviously we had some other races in Missouri that went differently. But for me, the job is the same. What do we do to move this region forward? And whoever is sitting in whatever elected position or in the Oval Office, we still have a job to work for this region, and that's what I expect to do.
Cori Bush, Representative Cori Bush, who you'll be replacing here in a couple of months, she initially upset the incumbent Lacey Clay in the primaries. You upset the incumbent in Cori Bush. As a freshman congresswoman, she did have a lot of attention with some of the stances that she took, also kind of being part of the squad with AOC and Ilhan Omar. So getting a lot of national attention, relatively speaking, for freshman congresswoman. How does that affect or influence you stepping into that role where, a former member of the squad, so to speak?
Yeah, to me, that's just outside noise. For me, I'm going to do what I've always done and focus on the work. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to roll my sleeves up and work for the voters and constituents in this region. And this region, I believe, is a sleeping giant. And it's time for us to wake it up. And the only way we're going to do that is by working together. And so we got to start rowing in the same direction. And that means working with folks on the other side of the aisle too, so that we can get things done. And so I don't define myself in how other folks have done it before me. I define it by the values that I hold dearly, which I believe in regional growth. I believe in economic opportunities and attracting jobs and industry back to this region, and healthcare and education. And those are the things that I believe are the keys to bringing this region back. And that's what we're going to be focused on doing.
You'll assume office in the early part of January, and the way it stands right now, well, former President Trump is the president-elect. He will be the president. The Republicans will have control of the Senate. We don't know yet what the makeup of the House of Representatives is going to be. It could go either way at this point.
Right.
But how much does your calculus change in looking ahead, depending on whether or not Democrats are in control or not in control of that branch?
Well, from just a purely practical standpoint, if Democrats are able to control the House, obviously, that's more opportunities to more committee assignments, more opportunities to get legislation passed when you are in the majority. But if regardless, as I said before, the job doesn't change. And if we're not in the majority, and obviously I hope we are, but if we're not, we're still going to have to work across the aisle, because whether we're in the majority or minority, it's going to be close. And so that means that you're still going to have to build coalitions, build relationships. That's the job. And so if we find ourselves in the minority, I'm knocking on wood that we'll pull through in the House. Obviously that would be beneficial for us in this region, because we can get more done for this region. But if we don't, we're still going to go to work every day. We're going to still reach across the aisle. We're going to work with folks on both sides of the aisle and do everything we can to represent this district.
Speaking of building relationships, as you mentioned, that's the way to get things done in Congress. You have to compromise. You have to have conversations. How do you balance your principles, standing up for what you believe in, representing your constituents, and also reaching across the aisle and or compromising?
I think that the underlying part of that question is I don't think it embraces what the real truths are in our country. And the real truth in this country is that we agree on a whole lot more than we disagree on. Whatever side of the aisle or what wing of the party you're in, we agree on a lot more. When I talk to Democrats and Republicans, for that matter, everyone cares about public safety. They want their family safe. They want to feel safe. That's not a political issue. When we talk about jobs, everyone wants to be able to take care of their families and provide for their families. Those are not Democrat or Republican issues. And so I think that what happens is we get focused on the wedge issues that get the attention. And so it takes us away from talking about the issues that really matter to everyday working class Americans. And I think this election is a perfect testimonial to that. What we see is that the old formula of there's an issue, and if I support that issue, that means I'm going to support that party across the board. Those days are over. It's much more nuanced. Voters are much more discriminate when it comes to who they vote for, and they will switch back and forth between parties and issues and things of that nature like we've never seen. And so I think that means that that people in my job, they're going to have to recognize that compromise, again, is not a dirty word. Our government is built on it. Our founding fathers designed our Constitution to force us to work together. And so that's what we need to do. That's what this country is about. And that's what I intend to do. We're going to work together. We're going to focus on the things we agree on, and we're going to deliver results for this region.
As you see it, do the results of this election, the fact the Republicans will take the White House and the Senate, potentially the House of Representatives as well, does it say anything about the way Democrats have gone about this campaign cycle at large? Does it say anything about that, or is this just a snapshot? I mean, how are you looking at what happened yesterday?
I think that if you're not and analyzing what's going on, and I mean this with both parties, even if you're a Republican and you're feeling pretty good this morning, you still should be analyzing and evaluating what voters are telling us, because even with the wins that Republicans, that we've seen nationally, the elections are all close. I mean, we're talking a few points in the overwhelming majority of elections. So if Republicans walk away saying, "Hey, we got all the answers, we don't need to work with anyone," they're going to be in some trouble a couple years from now. And Democrats on the other side, we got to look at, okay, what is not resonating with voters, and how can we more connect with working class voters, and so we can better serve the interests of our voters. I think everyone has something that they can take away from, and I think first and foremost, voters want folks up there getting things done.
Are Democrats not paying enough attention to the working class, or is that perception that they're not?
I think it's more perception. I think when you talk about jobs, the Inflation Reduction Act, the infrastructure, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which was led by President Biden, I think that was a direct response to that connection with working class folks. But I think there is that perception, and on some issues there may be a disconnect, but I think that is true with both parties. Both parties have work to do. And I believe, I'm a Democrat, and I believe in that. I don't demonize the other side, but I do believe that, as the big party, with the big party, the big tent party, if you will, and making certain that we want everyone to feel welcomed and respected, but also those issues of jobs and taking care of your family and public safety. Those are issues that still matter and resonate with folks. And so I think there's a lot to take away from on all sides.
Yeah, and in the state of Missouri, you talk about nuance in the issues and with voters. One interesting takeaway from the election is that Amendment 3, enshrining abortion rights in the Missouri Constitution, passed. It was a strong yes from the state of Missouri. And Josh Hawley also won as senator of Missouri, and it was a strong victory, Mike Kehoe. And so if you have Republican governor, Republican senator, in the issues that they ran on, whether it be immigration or the economy, but then also Amendment 3 passing. What does that tell you about voters in Missouri?
It tells you that voters are paying very close attention, and they are not monolithic. And it's something that I think that, folks in these political circles and prognosticators can't just sit back and assume that we know that, well, these issues we're certainly going to get all the voters on this issue or that issue, as opposed to recognizing that voters are looking at the nuance. And when we look at younger voters, they are not as tied to political parties as we've seen historically. Maybe that'll change. Maybe this is a snapshot in time, but that's what we're seeing. And obviously we're still evaluating data, and we'll learn more about it. But it very well could be a new day with respect to how we approach the electorate, and having a more potentially sophisticated electorate who cares more about particular issues. And one thing that concerns me is when we think about foreign affairs. I think, perhaps we're so far removed from World War I and World War II that we don't understand this country's, not all of us, but some folks may not understand the need for this party, for this country to continue to be the leader of the free world. We can't just take off from that responsibility, because when wars escalate, we are going to get drawn in because of our status as the world's first and foremost superpower. But overall, our electorate seems not to care as much about those issues. And I think I think that we do that at our own peril. And I don't want American lives lost to have to learn that lesson again.
Wesley Bell has been voted into the House of Representatives. He will assume office at the beginning of next year. Still currently the county prosecuting attorney, and they are looking for your replacement right now. If you are, they are ready to kick you out the door. It says they're telling us, here's the website. We need somebody to replace Wesley Bell. stlewiscountymo.gov if you're interested. They're accepting applications through November 15th. Do I need to have a law degree to do that?
Yeah.
All right, well, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, your
I might
history as a
apply
Bears
anyway.
fan is not going to help.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna go there.
I know.
At least on air.
Clearly, Mr. Bell has been so focused on the county over the last 2 weeks because he walked in here talking about how great the Bears are. He's not been watching
did not
sports.
Say great. I did not say great.
Okay.
What I said was
They are so bad right now.
no. You knew the Bears were not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, I know it better than anybody now.
But you're looking for progress, and you are seeing a competitive team, and you should be happy about that. You've got a franchise quarterback who is coming to his own.
This guy sounds like a representative, doesn't he? Wesley Bell, congratulations. Thank you for stopping by.
Appreciate it. Anytime.
Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed, free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote, 800-221-6319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-221-6319. 800-221-6319 or go to oxcarcare.com.
St. Louis City SC and Enterprise Mobility are celebrating individuals who uplift the region. Nominate a deserving person to be the 2025 Enterprise Exceptional Neighbor. Honorees will receive 4 tickets to a St. Louis City SC home match next season, and their work will be featured during the match. Nominations close November 30th. So visit stlcitysc.com/exceptional neighbor to nominate a friend, coworker, or neighbor who is doing incredible work in our community.
It's warm now, but winter will be here before you know it. That's why Banner Construction is having their pre-winter window event. Choose from Banner's various energy-efficient brands and window price points featuring beautiful Pella windows. Banner is a certified Pella contractor and preferred James Hardie specialist. If you've been considering new windows or a fresh new exterior for your home, see Banner's work at bannerconstruction.com or call 314-569-1050 and have a Banner day.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty reminding you why pay more than 4. In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many market's ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444, 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than 4?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. Life can throw us curveballs, like the car accident that put me in a coma 30 years ago. We all have bumps in the road. Lucky for us, we have Renner to get our garage door back on track. Click RENNER door STL.com today. Giddy up!
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. While we celebrate the reversal of Roe v. Wade, there is still much work to be done to support life and pregnant women before they cross state lines. Together, we can provide the love, support, and options that women need to choose life for their children. Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
Discussing what matters to you, your family, your money, your health. KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Text message into the show at 314-436-7900 says, I am a lifelong conservative and Republican, and I did vote for Mr. Bell. I hope he does well. Thank
Excellent.
You, is what he says. We appreciate your text messages. Another one says, thank you for having such a smart, articulate person on your show. So I think, are they saying that we're not?
Oh, yeah, I didn't think
feel
of
like-
it that way. Like, finally, someone who can express themselves and has a good point.
Yeah, dude.
What about us?
I read that and I thought, oh, that's a nice... Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I'm eloquent.
Hold on a second.
I'm not shrill.
This is... Yeah, so if you are interested in becoming the St. Louis County prosecutor, we weren't joking. They are taking applications through November 15th at stlewiscountymo.gov. And there are two requirements here. You do have to be a member of the same political party, which means you have to be a Democrat in order to apply. And you must be, here it is, a licensed practicing attorney in Missouri for at least 5 years and resident at the county for at least 3 years before assuming office.
So you do have to be a lawyer.
I have to be a lawyer, and I don't live in the county either. So I can't even
You're
do
like,
that.
I'm a Democrat. Well, yes, but do you live in the county?
No, what the hell?
Are you a lawyer? No. Well, then you are not the right fit for this position. Hey, I have a shout out. Guess what I did yesterday?
Hold on real quick. It was Wesley Bell's birthday yesterday, his 50th. So he won election and he turned 50 on the same day.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that because I did see that when he was being interviewed on television. Happy birthday, Representative-elect Wesley Bell. Guess what I did yesterday?
Cried.
Non-elect. No, we didn't cry. I did something that made me
Cried
feel
about
happy.
something.
No.
Well, you whined. You complained.
Okay, you know what? I don't like the tone that you have right now. Got my oil changed and I feel so accomplished. And my tires rotated.
Did you sit in the car while they did it?
No, I went to Dobbs at Olive and Fifi. They are the best. Love Dobbs. And they changed the oil and rotated the tires, and it was a delightful experience.
Congratulations, Amy.
You know how we
on
were
getting
talking
your
about
oil changed?
doing
Oh,
double
doing it,
errands?
yes.
And then guess what I did? I went to
Yes.
the UPS store and made a return. So on election day, I did a double errand day, and you have no idea how accomplished I feel.
It's amazing. We had this conversation
Yep.
during the Glover Hour. How accomplished you feel when you do two things in one day.
I did a double
And every
errand.
time I tell people I have errands to run, I have one thing to do. I got to go all these places.
All
I
these
need to find-
errands.
No, I got one place to go. All right, when we come back, Matt Pauley, we will take a break from politics. We will discuss sports with our sports fella, Matt Pauley, after the break on KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman. Need to get my eyes checked once a year from Ophthalmology Associates. It's an annual eye health examination that I absolutely need if I want to see clearly, and I want to be able to tell you what I see in everything that I do on the radio and in life. The doctors of Ophthalmology Associates will help me with that. 314-966-5000 is the number to call for an appointment. 314-966-5000, Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andrew Royer, and Samuel Berry. He is a cornea surgeon. He has the knowledge and techniques for advanced eye care and treatment in the field, just like the other doctors. The doctors, they call them that because they have over 250 doctors as patients. That is more than any other practice. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates, yourEyeDoc.com.
It is 11:30. We've got partly sunny skies, 59 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. Donald Trump promising sweeping action in a second administration. His proposals they lack specifics and would be more complicated. He is vowing to fix the Middle East. Republicans have taken over the Senate majority. They are fighting to keep control of the House. There are still some House returns still coming in today. About 3 in 10 voters said they wanted total upheaval in how the country is run, according to AP Votecast. More than half of voters overall said they wanted to see substantial change. Abortion rights advocates lost in Florida, Nebraska, and South Dakota, ballot measures in those states, but prevailed in 7 other states, including Missouri. Taking a look at the roadways, we do have some road work that could cause some issues. 270 southbound to 70 eastbound, all lanes are closed. The left exit is closed. The right exit is closed. That should be going on until about 1 today. Also, some moving road work, 64 westbound past Mason Road. And that is expected to be an issue for at least another 30 minutes or so. We'll have mostly sunny skies today with a high of 63 degrees, 61 and partly sunny tomorrow. Currently 59 with partly sunny skies in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Proud to call the Lou Hall. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Berry. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Okay, boys, here we go. When they take the field.
Take the field. Let's have some fun.
We take you to the game.
They don't like us. We don't like them.
Thursday night, it's the Bengals and Ravens, and you can hear the game here. Sigmund Cancer Center game time, 6:30 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Inside to Shan, 2-0 break to Cairo. He scores! What a play! What a goal! 3-1 blows. Go Paulie!
Paulie's a great name.
Go Paulie!
What'd you do for Paulie? Anything?
Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Highlight courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. The Blues last night. They beat the Lightning 3-2, but also there was a pretty scary injury that occurred during the game to Dylan Holloway, who we'll get the update now from Matt Pauley. This segment with Mr. Pauly, is brought to you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. We talk to Matt Pauly now on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
So what do we know about Dylan Holloway today?
Yeah, from not much more coming out today. We learned last night that he was doing well in the hospital. You know, he took the puck to the net. It's just a really scary situation. Got stretchered off. His family was actually in town, so they were able to go to the hospital with him. He was not on the ice while they practiced earlier today. That was obviously very expected that he wouldn't be. But as far as an update from last night to today, we have not gotten that yet.
Yeah, a scary moment. I brought back memories of the Jay Bomeister incident when he had the cardiac event and they put the black cloth right around the hallway back to the locker rooms. They had to move the bench out of that area as EMTs went and quite literally saved his life. I will say with hockey, I'm almost surprised that things like this don't happen more often because it's football on razor blades. When they're going full speed, a skater can hit 30, 35 miles an hour. The puck is flying, blades. It's always a scary moment because there's so much risk involved.
Yeah. I can't say it much better than what you said. I mean, it's a very dangerous sport, and I think we're all lucky that these fluky type things remain fluky and not something that actually happens more often.
There was a time, and I thought this was going to happen league-wide after the and I can't remember the player who got his neck cut and he ended up dying on the ice.
Yeah,
and
the minor league player.
Yeah, and they've got it just looks like sort of like a mock turtleneck, kind of.
The neck guard.
The neck guard. That it gives some protection. I don't know if it would have done much in a case like this, but I wonder the more things like this do happen, and again, they're pretty rare, if if they end up going that route where the league wants players to wear them.
I think we just see in all sports where, I mean, think how long it took for everybody to start wearing helmets. Like I remember,
right?
Craig McTavish and Charlie Huddy and guys like that late, who were with the Blues and not wearing helmets because they were grandfathered into the rule. It takes a while. Same thing in baseball with some of the protective gear that is available to guys that they end up not wearing. There's just this comfort level that athletes have wearing the stuff that they have always worn. And sometimes it's cosmetic. Look, I forget what are those things, the helmets that are called that can be worn now in football.
Oh yeah,
almost like put a cloth thing over.
Yeah, it's a helmet cover. I cannot remember what they wear them in practice, but you can wear it in a game.
Yeah, and a few guys have, but the safety of it is like 1,000,000% better. I'm obviously exaggerating with the percentage, but it's a huge safety increase when it comes to concussions and things like that. And not many guys are wearing them because, bluntly, it looks kind of silly from what we're used to seeing. So I think there's a level of comfort with what you've always worn, and there's a level of how it looks cosmetically, and that's why it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because the American Hockey League, the AHL, mandated neck guards this season, and the NHL, still no mandatory neck guards. And there was a player poll done through the New York Times and The Athletic. 78% of players said there should be no neck guard mandate. And I get it. They're probably thinking, we've made it this far. Why do I have to wear one now? In a lot of amateur level hockey, you do have to wear a neck guard. When I was younger, like a teen playing USA hockey, I had to wear a neck guard. But I mean, gosh.
You also had to wear a cage, right? Like, not to interrupt you, but I mean, when you're talking youth hockey, all the helmets have cages on them, and that goes away at some point. So,
except for women. Women always wear cages.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. It does go away. It goes through college, you have to wear a cage, but at the pro level, you don't have to.
You just hope that something really bad doesn't happen that results in that stuff being pushed forward.
Matt Pauly, we've got the Cardinals off season, which is off and running here, and I think we're all kind of wondering exactly how it's going to go. And we know it'll be unusual. We've talked about it. It's not going to be a typical Cardinals off season, as we are now into the first week of November. We're getting a little further removed from the World Series. How are you feeling about what happens next for them?
Yeah, I'm still very curious to see how much of a sell-off it's going to be. We keep talking about players like Wilson Contreras and Sonny Gray, Nolan Arenado as being players they could be trading away, Miles Michaelis, Steven Matz, players that they may try to get out from those contracts, maybe eat some of it but get them gone. I'm sure there's conversations that are taking place as the GM meetings are rolling on in San Antonio. A lot of times the conversations that take place at the GM meetings are just kind of laying the groundwork for moves that are made later in the offseason. Sometimes they're made at the winter meetings, things like that. I continue to think it's going to be interesting. The one bummer, there's a few bummers about this. Obviously, the most important bummer is the fact that what led to this, the team just not playing as well as you would like them to play. But it is kind of, what stinks is I'll see a guy, decline an option and become like Nathan Eovaldi. He declined his option the other day, so he's going to become a free agent. In most years, my brain can go to, I wonder if he would fit with the Cardinals. Well, and start going down that pathway. I don't get to do that this year because I know that Nathan Eovaldi and other somewhat high-level free agents will not be coming to St. Louis because that's not where the Cardinals are going to be at this offseason.
Let's talk a little football. Kansas City Chiefs are going to have a shorter week because they had Monday Night Football earlier this week. They'll take on the Broncos, and they've got an intriguing young quarterback there in Denver. As you look at this matchup, as the Chiefs remain undefeated, how nervous would you be for at some point here? They're probably going to take a loss, right? So, the odds are against them, as good as they are. But how much does this one make you nervous if you're a Chiefs fan?
Yeah, I think if it was in Denver, it'd be a little bit more worrisome. And they'll play in Denver the final week of the season. So that may, if they're sitting there with a really good record and the number one seed already locked in, there's a good chance that they'll lose that game in Denver late in the season, especially if the Broncos continue on the trajectory they're on right now. They're going to be contending for a playoff spot. We're not talking much about the Broncos, but they might be from a positive standpoint. Washington would be actually number one. So after Washington, Denver might be the most positive, surprising team in the NFL this year. There was absolutely zero expectations upon them, and they're above 500 right now. You mentioned their quarterback and Bo Nix. He's done a nice job. They've got a head coach there in Sean Payton who's been around and done some things and knows how to get the most out of a team. So I'm not overly worried about this game. The old any given Sunday thing. Yeah, can the Chiefs lose against the Broncos? Obviously they can. This would not be the first game that I'd be most worried about that. But I do think from a bigger picture standpoint, the Broncos are a really good story this year.
All right. Now, what has been really kind of the big sports news in Missouri today, and I was waiting to get to the politics of it, so we're going to do that now. The state narrowly, with almost 3 million votes cast, Amendment 2, sports betting, the legalization of it, passes in the state of Missouri by less than 7,500 votes. I was up very late last night watching these returns come in, waiting for the counties to refresh, with their reporting.
We're waiting for Cape Girardeau. And,
Cape Girardeau and Camden and
Camden,
Camden County. Finally, they came through. Camden was the last county to report, at least according to the Secretary of State site. But so it passes. It's going to happen, and it can happen by December of next year.
Yes, and I think this is going to. I understand people who are against sports gambling from a moral standpoint. Just being against gambling, I understand where those people are coming from. What I never understood was if you're sitting in St. Louis. And you know that everybody can just go across the river to Illinois. If you're sitting in Kansas City and people can just go across the state border to Kansas, if you're in parts of northern Missouri and parts of southern Missouri, you're just watching tax dollars walk out the door. Now, for people in central Missouri, where it wasn't as easy for just to see those tax dollars walk across a border because you were hours away from one, it's a little bit of a different situation. But I never completely understood people who were within a half hour of where sports gambling was legalized, why those people were completely against it, because people who wanted to do it could just go across and there was tax revenue that went with it. We don't have enough time to get into all the implications of this. There is a reason that all the professional sports franchises in Missouri, including the Cardinals and Blues, were very much in favor of this. I think this intersects with the TV situation a little bit with the Cardinals as they continue to try to figure out if they're going to go on their own with MLB or stay with Diamond, which is now what was Bally and is now FanDuel. Obviously, those are sports gambling companies that have naming rights agreements with Diamond. There's the business aspect of the fact that Ballpark Village has a big old restaurant in the middle of it that's branded after that. I mean, there's just so many things that go along with this that are going to impact sports. This is not just about Joe Schmo being able to go down the street and put $10 on the Cardinals to win that night. There are implications of this that go all over the place.
There's just so much money involved in sports gambling, sports betting. It's why these sports books spent $41 million advertising in the state of Missouri, perhaps more than that. So there's just so much money involved. And it's like you said, it's going to affect the teams themselves. I think a lot of people, what's funny is how many people I talked to who said, well, it's inevitable, whether you like it or not. But it really was so close that inevitable is not an adjective I would have used last night.
No, and the numbers for St. Louis and Kansas City, which came in first, were not real strong. And those had to be the ones that you thought were going to be able to push that through. So then we're just sitting there for the better part of 2 or 3 hours, slowly watching some of the rural counties come in. And we knew that they would be against it. The question was, how much would they be against it? And it finally came in where that final county did not quite have enough to push it back over the edge on the other side. It was really interesting. Yeah, Hancock and Kelly made the point last night. I think it's interesting. The big opposition group to it completely stopped, and that was actually funded by a casino that was against it.
Caesars.
But they didn't spend any money. Basically, they just dropped what they were doing over the last 3 weeks. How much does that impact it? Because if that messaging is more in the heads of people over the final 3 weeks, that I'm no election pundit by any stretch of the mind, but I would think that certainly had an impact.
It's very possible they could have made up the 7,500 votes. That's not that many with almost 3 million ballots cast, or 3 million votes on that particular issue. That's about as tight as it gets. So
can I ask this now? Because Kansas has sports gambling. So when we go to Kansas City, cross into the border, you stop into a sports bar or a gas station or whatever it may be, the betting lines, whatever you want to call them, on the screen, they're like flashy advertisement. It makes the television look like NASCAR all the time. Will our viewing experience here in Missouri henceforth be changed because the sports betting lines will be pretty intrusive on the television screen, or not so much?
I think it depends on where you're at. If you're at a place that takes bets, then yes, the lines and the all that stuff will be more obvious.
If they put like a sports book kind of thing in Ballpark Village, where I guess it's FanDuel Sports Live, or it would be, Bally's Live, whatever it is.
FanDuel Sports,
whatever it
Midwest
is.
Live.
I don't know if they changed the naming on that. I have no idea. But if it's there, that screen that's in front of you, whatever games are on, it would probably have the scrolling lines and that sort of thing. They could make a pretty good. It's set up to be a sports book. If you go to a sports book anywhere, it kind of looks like the inside of Ballpark Village.
I would agree.
All right, Matt. Anything else?
I don't think so. I'm not going to do what I did the last time and offend you. So I'll just say thanks for having me on.
What?
What'd you do last time?
When I plugged the gas house.
No, you're not gonna do that. We don't care about that.
X-nay.
Plug this, Matt.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Matt, do you have Sports Open Line tonight?
Wow, I come back. Hold
on. Yeah, I forgot to ask.
I've done my concert and everybody's standing. This is the closest thing I'll ever have to an encore. What song should I cover right now? We got Sports Open Line tonight. Full 2-hour show, 6 to 8.
And I will say this, do not, you should just stay on KMOX all day, because not only does Matt Pauley have sports open line 6 to 8, Brad Young has at your service 8 to 10. 8 to 10 to talk about the election. So grab yourself a glass of wine or whiskey and sit down and turn on KMOX all evening.
Later, Matt. Talk to you next week. That's Amy Marks-Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. You know, CNN, NBC, CBS all had exit polling. So did the Chris and Amy show.
That's right. And ours is probably the most accurate.
We'll let you know the results from our Twitter account at ChrisAmyKMOX.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
KMOX proudly supports the Musial Awards, returning to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 23rd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event hosted right here in St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the show celebrates the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character. Experience the extraordinary moments and people that make the Musial Awards an event like no other. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered emotion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's Enhanced Network. Learn more at USPS.com/holidayride.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most trusted psychic network. So, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soulmate's face in the clouds or your career path mapped out in your cappuccino foam. This really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Hi, this is Johnny Rabbit. Isn't cash in the bank better than scrap in the drawer? Midwest Money Company is buying your valuables. Midwest Money Company is buying gold, silver, coins, currency, diamonds, plus gold and silver jewelry. Call Midwest Money Company, 481-0770. That's 481-0770. Or stop by Midwest Money, 5900 Hampton for a free appraisal.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan from McKelvey Homes. This month, we're giving $18,980 off our homes in selected communities to celebrate 126 years of legendary quality and craftsmanship. In addition, our skilled craftsmen from the Mid-America Carpenters Union are offering McKelvey buyers up to $10,000 cash towards their new home for closing costs or lower interest rates. Combine these two incredible offers and save big on your McKelvey home. But hurry, this rare opportunity won't last long. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold for Newbold Toyota and Newbold BMW, a family-owned dealership group that has been around for 50 years as a Toyota dealer and 25 years in O'Fallon, Illinois. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon or NewboldToyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
If you're looking to get a jump on the holidays and get yourself into a little bit better shape, get out to Supplement Superstores and ask them about the 213 Flashpoint Complex. While you're there, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They'll give you 20% off the 213 Flashpoint Complex. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Decision 2024.
Not everything has yet to be decided. For continuing coverage of Decision 2024, stay with News Radio 1120, KMOX.
How do I feel today? Feels like someone died, even though we knew they were likely not to make it through the night. We had hope that they would. And then, like, sometime last night, they flatlined, and we woke up this morning to a new reality. And it feels like Bizarro World. That's what it feels like.
It's okay. We're going to be okay.
Jonathan with a voice message on the Odyssey app. You can leave one. There are a lot of people who agree with him. There are about an equal amount of people who disagree, who think this is a great thing. And with Donald Trump earning a second term, we'll see what happens. I've said this to you before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's not him personally that I am concerned about as much. I just don't necessarily trust the sort of people that he's got around him now. I don't really trust Elon Musk. I'm sorry. I don't trust RFK. I don't trust Tucker Carlson.
Don't trust RFK.
I don't trust the kinds of Steve Bannon, and I don't know what his capacity is going to be, but I don't trust the kind of people that I think are going to surround him. And maybe I'll be wrong about it. That's my gut feeling.
Well, right. To your point, there's no Mike Pence now. I love him or hate him. He stood in the gap, right?
And there are a lot of people in his cabinet who said, do not let this guy back.
So it is different. And like I said, Donald Trump's a wild card, right? Unpredictable. That's not disparaging. That's what people either love that about him or hate that about him. So here's what I hope is that, it works out.
Yeah, I hope it works.
Because he's our president now. So now you're rooting for the country. And I think, like I said, I wasn't thrilled about either candidate. And I've made, what concerns me on each side. I've made that clear. So I think I probably would have felt like, well, here we go. Either way, for different reasons.
We're coming up on the break.
Yeah.
We have this caller, and I got to tell you, I really so badly want to take it, but we don't have enough time to take it because Tom in St. Louis is on hold.
Yes.
And according to the description of the call, he has a quote he has a solution for abortion and Ukraine. And if Tom in St. Louis can solve both of those things in 10 seconds, he should run for president.
I wish we didn't have a break.
Dude, I do too. If Tom hangs on for a while, we'll get to him because I have to know what his solution is for those two things, which are totally related. Amy Marxkors and Chris Ranji, when we come back, Hancock and Kelly, who had terrific election coverage on KMOX last night, they will join the show with us next.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-353-9057. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-353-9057. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-353-9057. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-353-9057, 800-353-9057, or biglou.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is Debbie Monterey for the Photo Pros and Stephen Weiss. Many of us know his old company, Creve Core Camera. They closed in 2019, but now have a wonderful new store, the Photo Pros. It's a full-service camera store. They carry Nikon, Olympus, flashes, lots of used equipment, plus they take trades. Their employees will listen to your needs and your budget, and they'll suggest the right equipment for you, and all with no pressure. Just Google the Photo Pros in St. Louis or call 314-567-3456.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in St. Louis. 2 days only at the Hilton Frontenac, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Register now at DelHelpMeNow.com. That's DelHelpMeNow.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. DelHelpMeNow.com. Code 2024.
It is 12 o'clock, and right now we've got partly cloudy skies, 61 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, and the news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. John Shaw, director of the Paul Simon Policy Institute at SIU Carbondale, says a downfall of Kamala Harris's campaign was focusing too much on protecting democracy rather than talking about the economy.
I think there was a stronger defense to be made for the Biden economy. Clearly, not everyone is feeling it, but the Democrats didn't defend what they did these last 4 years, and I think that hurt them.
Harris has not yet conceded her loss. She'll deliver a concession speech this afternoon at Howard University. Shaw says President Biden should have bowed out of the race after the 2022 midterms to have given Harris more time. Missouri voters passed Amendment 3 to enshrine abortion rights in the state constitution, but Steve Rogers with St. Louis University says we may be voting on the subject again.
But we were probably going to be talking about the issue of abortion probably for the next 2, if not even 4 years, because now what needs to be happening is kind of settling a little bit about what is going to be the right to abortion within the state of Missouri. And so this is going to be an issue that's going to be probably taken up by the legislature, and it may also be on the ballot again, say 2 or 4 years.
Rogers says while the amendment passed, polling shows only 40% of Missourians support allowing abortions up to 15 weeks. Sports betting in Missouri passed by the slimmest of margins, 50.1% yes to 49.9% no.
The opposition questioned how much money would go back to education. Cardinals president Bill DeWitt III.
Yeah, that was just literally, misleading info. The money is definitely going to education, and I guarantee you we're going to blow the money, the numbers out of the water, because we kind of modeled this after the economics in terms of like tax rates and things like that and promotional credits after Connecticut. And in the first year of Connecticut's legalization just last year, they generated $40 million in tax revenues.
DeWitt says a piece of that will go to the Gaming Commission and $5 million to problem gaming.
And the rest goes to education, and it's constitutional. So it's definitely going to happen. It's going to be a big number for teachers and schools.
Tom Ackerman, KMOX News.
Missouri voters opposed Amendment 6. The measure would have reinstated a $3 court fee to help fund the Missouri Sheriff's retirement system. From the KMOX business desk, Dave Simons, partner and managing director at One Private Wealth in Chesterfield, says the market is responding pretty well a day after the election.
Whether it's large caps, small caps, growth, value, pretty much the market is going up. Now, most people who are diversified have bonds, and that is one area of the financial market that's getting hit today. And that's really due to the, I think, fear of bond traders that this Republican sweep here might lead to future inflation, and bonds do not like that.
A major developer in Midtown is selling off some properties near the soccer stadium that includes the old Sam Light Loan and Pawn Shop on Jefferson and Olive and 2 adjoining parcels. Jason Johnson with Onyx Development, which has done dozens of projects on Locust, had planned a mixed-use development. He now says he wants another developer to pursue that while he focuses on other Midtown projects. Taking a look at the roadways, it looks like things are pretty smooth right now. We do have a stalled vehicle 44 eastbound before 64, but that has been moved off to the left shoulder. Another stalled vehicle 44 eastbound before Murdoch has been moved off to the right shoulder. That looks like about it, except for some moving road work that should be wrapping up pretty soon on 270. Taking a look at the forecast.
A pretty November afternoon with partly to mostly sunny skies in play. 63 should do it for the high. Remember, with the time change, the high temperature this time of year happens about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, 50s for evening plans, 46 for the low. On Thursday, keeping it dry, mostly sunny, 60. Friday, keeping it dry, partly sunny, 62. But the next round of rain from the southwest moving in here late Friday night and will be around Saturday and most of Saturday night, probably about a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain out of this one. So not quite as intense as the last one. It should all clear out on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Abe Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, we've got partly sunny skies and 61 degrees in downtown St. Louis. It's 12:05. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show, sponsored by St. Louis University Billikens Basketball. Choose your seats for 5 or more games and receive savings off the single game ticket price with a 5-game mini pack starting at $75. Purchase now at slubillikens.com.
Frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal.
That is President-elect Donald Trump. He will be the 45th and 47th president of the United States. He, speaking last night, or I think it was after midnight, actually, Kamala Harris is going to speak today at 3 o'clock. She's speaking at Howard University, and we are going to have her comments. From what I understand, she has reached out to Donald Trump. I don't know if they have spoken yet, but Harris is going to formally concede at 3 o'clock today. We are talking about the election, which has come to an end. Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji, and to the Quiver River Electric guest line we go. These two guys had a long night, and they were awesome during it. John Hancock and Michael Kelly, part of KMOX's election night coverage, which was fantastic. Guys, how you feeling?
Tired. Good.
Tired and good? Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to stick with just tired myself,
okay.
Chris.
So we'll go ahead and start with John Hancock, who is feeling tired. But I know that none of us really knew exactly how the presidential race was going to go, but the way it's ended up and the way it's looking, currently he has 276 electoral votes, certainly is going to get more. What do you think of the results at this moment?
Well, I was correct about my prediction until the last weekend. When that Iowa poll came out, that Seltzer poll in Iowa that showed Harris with a 3 or 4 point win there, I thought, maybe there's something going on out there organically, and I flipped my prediction from Trump to Harris just in the last 72 hours. I should have stuck with my gut on the thing. This is a decisive win for Donald Trump. The Republicans have taken the Senate. I think, we don't know yet, but I think they're going to hold the House of Representatives. And, you couldn't have expected a more decisive win than what we all witnessed last night.
Yeah. And John, I will ask you this. Is it so simple as it's the economy stupid and people really just felt the inflation, and no matter the reason for it, the buck's got to stop somewhere, right? And that's what people were voting on, was the economy?
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it. The underlying wrong track number in the country in the mid to upper 70s, when you ask people, is the country on the right track or the wrong track? The wrong track number in the 70s, as it has been now for 18 months, would have predicted in normal times that the party on the outside was going to win. What put this thing in doubt was because it was Donald Trump. And but that underlying national dynamic of wrong track, at the end of the day, I think had a huge impact. The other huge impact is that I think the Democrats waited too long to move on from Joe Biden. Had Biden been the nominee, this loss might have been, probably would have been, even greater. And you leave a candidate with 100 and some days to run for president, which was untested in American history, and it didn't work.
Michael, let me ask you the question about campaigning and the economy, where a lot of people did say that was very important to them and that they trusted the Republican Party to do a better job of making a better economy. I have wondered for a bit now if maybe a better strategy for Democrats would have been to say, well, actually, the economy's doing really well. And when the other side continually pounds the drum of bad economy, bad economy, bad economy, even though GDP is up, inflation is down, a lot of these other metrics are in their favor, unemployment, that sort of thing. Should Democrats have pounded that message home more, or is it a difficult argument to make at this point?
Sure feels like the message we pushed didn't work. I don't know. I hate to sit here the next day and act like I have answers after I was stunned by what happened last night, got my teeth kicked in and did not see it coming. So I just have more observations than answers. I mean, this is clearly the party of Donald Trump now. I mean, this is not an anomaly. This is not this could be anybody, whatever. No, this is Donald Trump. And he's mobilized beyond the Republican Party. He's upset what is the makeup of the Democratic Party in many instances. Many of the people, I would argue, who voted for him probably will ultimately get hurt by the policies he pushed forward. So that's a hard thing for me to sit and grasp. So to sit here and post-mortem it, Chris, I don't know as Democrats where we're at. I mean, my own personal observations is we've got problems with this progressive thought process. I think it got rejected wholly across the country. And this identity politics is problematic for the Democratic Party. But this is a several-month assessment, but the voters spoke loudly, and it wasn't just a couple. So we have to accept what's happened, be humble, show exactly how you're supposed to behave in a democracy. Unfortunately, we've not seen that with the former president, and go lick our wounds.
Yeah, Michael, what can the Democratic Party learn from this loss? Because the results were interesting, especially in Missouri, in a few ways. For instance, Amendment 3 passed, right, enshrining abortion rights. The state voted to increase the minimum wage for workers.
Yeah.
But Hawley had a resounding victory running on immigration, the economy, more traditional values. Governor Mike Kehoe, obviously a resounding victory. So what can you learn from that juxtaposition of those amendments that passed and those politicians who won?
Well, it sure feels like we have a left of center thought process in Missouri, yet we have a right of center electorate. Help me figure that out. I mean, when the more left of center progressive stuff's on the ballot, voters are voting for it. There's a thought process in my party, Amy, that the Republicans want to restrict access to the ballot, and it's Democrats always say, hey, this is where we have the rights to fix the injustice that exists. But there is a thought process in my party that says, hey, why are we going back and fixing things when people are voting for these Republicans who are implementing abortion bans, who were keeping sports betting from going to the ballot, who didn't want marijuana on the ballot, who want illegal, so all this different stuff. So, I think that's really what's it. It seems like people can have their cake and eat it too. They can sit and say they don't like abortion, yet St. Louis County voters can send one of the authors of the abortion bill back to Jefferson City. So it's a total juxtaposition. And I think as long as We had this redress at the ballot, which I like. I don't see how we change this because the voters are getting their cake and eating it too.
Michael Kelly and John Hancock are with us, our political experts. And John, if it does end up that the Republican Party keeps control of the House again, as you mentioned, we do not know. They've got the Senate now. They will have the presidency. If they have all three, can you give an idea generally of how they're going to operate, or how a Trump administration paired with those other two things will operate in a second term?
Well, the things I would keep an eye on is if the Senate should decide to do away with the filibuster rule. That was something that was talked about in the early days of the Biden administration. Ultimately, they decided not to do that. I sort of expect that the GOP will do away with the filibuster rule in the Senate. That would give them governing carte blanche to do a myriad of things. I think the policy that you're going to look for in the short term is, I think that the Trump tax cuts of 2017 are probably going to become permanent, which is going to be good for a lot of small businesses in the country. I think you're going to see a reduction of the regulatory state. I think climate change legislation is probably doomed, whether you think that's a good idea or a bad idea. I expect if Donald Trump is true to his word, and he always has been, I expect you're going to see a sweeping tariff policy in the country that could affect our trade relationships across the globe. I don't think that's going to be good economically, but I expect it's going to happen. And you could be in a situation here over the course of the next 4 years. Donald Trump would join George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, William Howard Taft, and Franklin Roosevelt as the only presidents who would have appointed a majority of the U.S. Supreme Court. And that's kind of striking to think about. But that's another thing I think we can look forward to over the course of the next several years.
Yeah, the expectation is Alito and Thomas will retire within the next couple of years, and he will get to appoint the replacements, which means he will have appointed 5 Supreme Court justices.
That's correct. And he joins a pretty exclusive list of presidents.
Honestly, imagine, let's go 15 years back. 15 years back, telling the country Donald Trump is going to appoint 5 Supreme Court justices.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
My son pointed out to me this morning that if that in fact happens, it's going to be the political equivalent of Pablo Sandoval hitting 3 home runs in a World Series game, joining Reggie Jackson, Babe Ruth, and Albert Pujols.
I just feel like that that little side note, like a little freeze frame clip, would be under his cameo appearance in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That when he shows Kevin where the elevator is, be like, fun fact, this guy's going to appoint 5 judges to the U.S. Supreme Court. You would think that
How
was a
is that
Saturday
happen?
Saturday
How?
Night Live skit.
How?
Hey, John, when you do look at the pretty striking victory of Donald Trump in last night, and you see that he won somewhere between 41 and 45% of the Latino vote, you see that there were a lot of women who voted for him as well. Is that indicative of the Democratic Party feeling or moving so far to the left, or giving the perception that they're somehow elite or looking down on Americans, that Americans can't go there no matter what Trump may say?
Yeah, I don't know. I do think we're in a period of realignment in the country. And I think the political parties are in the process of changing, or in the Republican case, have already changed. And we're sorting that all out as a country. I think there's a host of reasons why Trump appeals to so many Americans. I don't think it's a simple explanation. I think there's a multiple number of reasons, but it's clear that we've had a political realignment shift in the country, and that's going to play out now over the course of the rest of our lives.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly, great job last night on the coverage on KMOX. We knew you would do wonderfully. You're great with us every week on Fridays. I believe you're going to be with Brad Young this Friday. Amy and I are both out. We're not out together. We just both
Well,
happen
Matt's out, too.
Oh, Matt, the whole show is out pretty much, but Brad Young will be here with you guys Friday.
Well, it won't be the same.
You
Wait.
love us.
Thank
and we
you,
love
John.
you.
You guys were great last night. Try to rest a little bit. You guys are awesome.
See you guys.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly. I cannot tell you how much I love both of them. Oh, by the way, I did text Michael Kelly to hang out a couple of weeks ago. Guess who ignored me? I don't want to hear him complain another time for the rest of the year. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-221-6319. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-221-6319.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-221-6319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-221-6319, or go to oxcarcare.com.
St. Louis City SC and Enterprise Mobility are honoring individuals who uplift St. Louis. Nominations are open for the Enterprise Exceptional Neighbor Program. Visit stlcitysc.com/exceptional neighbor to nominate a deserving friend or coworker today.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping. I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM. or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a MyLowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals every week on everyday essentials, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
The Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to the practice. He joins Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brasati, and Royer as the Doctors' Doctors. 314-966-5000 or yourEyeDoc.com.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. Conversations that hit close to home. From schools to your pocketbook. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
Hey, it's Christmas time, and there's your president-elect, Donald Trump, in his Home Alone 2 cameo.
That's such a great movie, though.
It's
down
it's
the hall
okay.
and to the left.
There you go. And by the way, he has picked up officially Michigan. So it has been declared that he has won Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. He gets all 3 of the blue wall, and he now has 291 electoral votes.
You know what they say? If you miss once, you're not going to miss again.
We have bro. We have, you know what? I don't even want to do anything anymore after you said that. Like, I just don't even want to be here.
Our caller hung up after that one.
Yeah, we had a caller who's been on hold for a half hour. Remember, Tom from St. Louis has been on hold for a while because it says he has a solution for abortion and Ukraine. We got to take it. I got to know. We need to know what it is. Tom, what are your solutions?
How you doing? First of all, I got all my information from KMOX over the years. I am a student of you guys, both. And Amy, your laugh is infectious. And Chris, you're a great partner for her. I want to start off by saying that.
This guy's a politician. This guy's good. Tom, you're good.
Is this Wesley Bell?
This guy, who is this? Did you just win an office?
Dude.
my American Sicilian mother, she's the one that got, I said, how'd you get so smart, Mom? And she said, I listen to KMOX. You know, she's and she's in heaven right now. And you know what? When I retired, I took her advice and I've been listening to you guys all the time. Actually, I've got 4 things I want to cover, and I'll do it as quickly as possible.
Okay. We have
First
2 minutes.
Okay,
you get quick. One of them.
All right. First of all, I want you to write this down. There's a movie out from many years ago called Behavior Breeds Behavior. Donald Trump is a student of that. I'm positive of it. The first thing I want to cover is the Russian and Ukrainian war. The 2 areas that Russia tried to take over, 65% of them the people there speak Russian. The other 35% speak Ukrainian. And the reason why Russia is so afraid of that area is because after World War II, the Nazis settled in that area, and there's still Nazi beliefs in that area. But the reason why they attacked them is because of what Joe Biden and what Kamala Harris did. They cut off their pipeline of oil to Russia. And if you were Putin, you would do anything you could to get that oil back to be a hero of your people. That's number one. Number 2, Amy was right a while ago when she said compromise is a must. So the compromise for that is we turn your oil back on if you get the hell out of Ukraine. That's number 1. The number 2, abortion compromise, it's so simple, it's right in front of us. If you have a heartbeat, you have life, period. So the abortion compromise will be a government person or go to your church to get an affidavit to go straight to the hospital to get your abortion if you must have it.
Tom, I tell you what, we appreciate your phone call. We are running up against it, however, and you are welcome to visit with us whenever you like.
And
we
thank
appreciate
you for listening. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
That's Amy Marks Cores. We have notes. I gave Tom all 2 minutes. So We have
We're out of
nothing
time.
left. Now we have to go.
You gave him both our minutes.
Yeah, Jared Boyd is the chief of staff for Mayor Tashara Jones, and Mayor Jones has met with Police Chief Tracy, Greater St. Louis Inc., and business leaders to keep businesses downtown. How's it going? We'll discuss it next on KMOX.
If you're planning to sell and also buy a home in the near future, I know it can be stressful. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty knows selling and buying your next home at the same time can be tricky, especially in our area. This is Debbie Monterey, and if you need to sell and buy at the same time, this message is for you. Gloria Liu has several great options for her home sellers, including her Sell and Stay program that gets you the most money possible for your current home and then allows you to stay put until you find your next home. No more stress, worries, or hassles or settling. Gloria Liu makes selling your St. Louis area home easy, and she's been doing this for more than 21 years. So why risk working with an average realtor when you can work with the best? The name to remember is Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This is Bernie Miklas. If you'd like to build a home, consider Fisher & Fritchel, a local family-owned company that receives numerous awards for its legendary quality and exceptional customer service. In 2024, they received the Torch Award from the Better Business Bureau and were voted Best Residential Builder by readers of the Post-Dispatch. They're currently building stunning homes and detached villas in Cottleville, Forestel, Lake St. Louis, O'Fallon, and St. Peters, or they can build a home on your land. For details, visit fnfhomes.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
It is 12:30, and right now we have cloudy skies and 61 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. She still has not conceded her loss, but Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to deliver a concession speech this afternoon at Howard University, her alma mater in Washington. Republicans have taken the Senate majority and are fighting to keep control of the House as well. About 3 in 10 voters said they wanted total upheaval in how the country is run. According to AP Votecast, more than half of voters overall said they wanted to see substantial change. Abortion rights advocates lost in Florida, Nebraska, and South Dakota, but prevailed in 7 other states, including in Missouri. Taking a look at the roadways at this hour, it looks like the moving road work that had some people clogged up in the 270 area should be cleared up by now, although we do have a stalled vehicle 44 eastbound before 64 that is being moved over to the left shoulder, so that shouldn't cause you too many issues. We also have a stalled vehicle 270 northbound before Gravois, and that has also just been moved over to the right shoulder, and all lanes should be open at this time. It looks like it should be a pretty decent day with a high of 63 degrees and mostly sunny skies, although we've had some more clouds moving in. It's now 61 in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Did you know one of the most common mistakes people make as they plan for retirement is not factoring taxes? And if you don't have a plan for your taxes, it's a fact that Uncle Sam does. And it could cost you big time. Taxes could be one of your biggest retirement expenses. So, what can you do about that? Join Steve All of the All Financial Group for an exclusive educational workshop Tuesday, November 12th or Thursday, November 14th at the Twisted Tree. This event is designed to help answer these questions. What tax rules have changed? How can politics affect your pocketbook? And are you taking advantage of the historically low tax rates? Steve's planning can help make your retirement more tax efficient, which means you may get to keep more of your own money. Imagine that. This event is complimentary and seats will fill up fast. So call today. Call 636-230-8824 or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
Supporting your nutrition should be easy. That's why we created the Neovitin Women's Multivitamin monthly subscription. Get your daily Neovitin Women's Multivitamin delivered directly to your door every month. You can pause or cancel your subscription at any time with no long-term obligations. With B vitamins to support energy, vitamin D for bone support, and our physician-formulated proprietary blend, Neovitin Women's Multivitamin is here to support your nutrition every day. Start supporting your nutrition and sign up for a monthly Neovitin Women's Multivitamin subscription today at neovitin.com.
Join us for the Urban League's 20th anniversary Salute to Women in Leadership Gala on Saturday, November 9th at the Marriott downtown. Get your tickets now at ulstl.com. Don't miss this memorable night when we honor Emmy recipient Lynn Whitfield with entertainment by Kenny Lattimore, Regina Bell, and Angela Winbush. Go to ulstl.com for tickets. ulstl.com for tickets now. See you there.
Podcast The Bernie Miklasz Show today on the free Odyssey app and follow to receive Bernie's daily take on Cardinals, Blues, or whatever else is in the news. AUDACY.
Meet me in St. Louis, Louis, meet me at the fair.
Moving our focus a bit from the national elections to the local, specifically the city of St. Louis. We've been talking over the past few months about businesses in downtown St. Louis and those businesses that are leaving the city of St. Louis and what we can do to not only encourage new businesses to make their home downtown St. Louis, but to keep the ones that are here. And joining us now is Jared Boyd, Chief of Staff for Mayor Tishaura Jones. There have been a series of meetings with the mayor, Police Chief Tracy, and Greater St. Louis Inc., as well as other business leaders to make sure the city's doing everything it can to keep those businesses downtown. Jared, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It's like a breath of fresh air to step away from all of the politics of the election and talk about the city of St. Louis and what's going on to help it grow.
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, Mayor Jones and other valuable members of our cabinet in Greater St. Louis have met with a number of businesses because not everyone gets their news from a KMOX or from other mainstream media sources. So it's best to talk to business executives and frontline employees about all of the progress that is being made in downtown St. Louis and the city in general.
So what progress is being made and what can be gained from the meeting, or what has been gained from these town hall style meetings?
Sure. Public safety is at the top of a lot of folks' mind, and walking in with a police chief with a proven track record of reducing crime in other places and now in the city of St. Louis. Last year in the city, we saw one of the greatest decreases in homicides year over year in our city's history. Since taking office, Mayor Jones has cut homicides by over 40%. And if we look at downtown last year to this year, we're seeing a 40% decrease in crimes against people. And if you look at 2 years, overall crime is down over 50%. So there are isolated incidents that are well publicized. And hey, I get it. If your car's been broken into, stats aren't something that you love or you want to hear about. But by and large, crime is going and public safety is going in the right direction downtown with our police chief, with our folks at Greater St. Louis who now have safety ambassadors, and with the additional police presence in downtown. So that is one question that we're able to talk about. We're also able to give people an opportunity to ask questions directly of the police chief and the mayor. That's something that we want to provide not just big companies with, but small companies with who have invested in St. Louis downtown in particular. We also want to talk about exciting things that are going on. We have a retail incentive that is bringing about some exciting businesses that are going to make downtown vibrant. So UCraft has been able to expand. We've got a cocktail bar on Wash Ave that's going to bring some additional vibrancy. So bringing that vibrancy back, folks want to go to lunch and dinner and happy hour in addition to being safe. Safety is kind of a prerequisite for fun and programming. And then we're also spending about $10 million in safety in public street and infrastructure improvements along Washington Avenue, 4th Avenue, and Broadway. And last but not least, Mayor Jones is addressing a lot of the big problem properties, whether it's the Railway Exchange Building or Millennium. So it is important to have these one-on-one conversations. Sometimes these are tough conversations. If a business has been here for a long time and they feel like they are not being paid attention to, that derelict buildings are just being allowed to fester, those folks are rightfully concerned. But we are at least trying to meet them and hear from them, but also provide them with an update as to the progress that's being made.
Yeah, we talked about rather recently Fleischman Hillard leaving the advertisement agency, being in downtown St. Louis for 70 years, and then leaving downtown St. Louis. So if you are a business that is thinking about coming downtown or staying downtown, and you look at Fleischman Hillard and say, well, wait a minute, they've been here for 70 years. Why did they leave and why should I stay? What would that conversation be?
I would say that cities cannot exist without downtowns. They are the cultural hub of our regions. And downtown is centrally located for a reason, right? We have folks who work in Illinois or who live in Illinois, folks who live in St. Charles. It is a place where the region has grown from. So there's also a lot of just wonderful things that are going on downtown. And being able to hear the truth about what's really going on downtown, we hope will allow businesses to make more informed decisions going forward. And you do hear of when a business leaves, but you really don't get the same type of press when an HOK decides to renew their lease, or when a Peabody, quite frankly, who announced that they were going to move, eventually decides that they're going to stay downtown. So it's important to acknowledge that some businesses have made that decision, but there are a lot who have decided to stay, and some of those decisions have been informed by direct conversations with the mayor and police chief.
And so, in these conversations with business leaders in the city, I mean, everything you're saying sounds great. Are they buying it? And are there indications that they are on board with what the city is saying?
So that there are businesses, like I said, who have made a decision to stay. Now, whether or not the mayor's conversation or the police chief's conversation was the deciding factor in their deciding to stay in the city, I'm not sure, but we're not leaving it to chance. We, like I said, want to make sure that businesses are informed on the progress and potential of staying in downtown St. Louis, and we're going to continue to try and have these conversations. They're not all fun conversations. Like I said, if someone has experienced, their car being broken into, or they've cited concerns about the unhoused or folks with mental health issues, these are real problems that we have to deal with. But the message that we're saying is we are not ignoring these problems. We can't fix everything, but we wake up every day looking to solve these problems, and we've made progress, and here is the progress.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough conversation. We spoke with Police Chief Tracy a while back and Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore, talking about how perception will always lag behind numbers. And I know, I'm guilty as well with skepticism or cynicism towards the numbers, because especially when numbers don't seem to jive with your own personal experience, or like you said, someone has a bad experience. So how much progress will have to be made when it comes to fighting crime, when it comes to bringing businesses downtown, before you actually see a difference in the perception? People from the county coming in downtown regularly, not just for Cardinals games, people moving down here.
Sure. I think you first have to change the reality before the perception will change. So I agree with you. In terms of the duration between changing the reality and changing the perception, I'm not sure. All I can say is that we've made significant progress. We want people to come downtown for the right reasons, whether it's to work, to have fun, to go to a game. And the more people have these positive experiences and actually can talk about their positive experiences, I think the more we can make a difference in business decisions that are being made.
Jared Boyd with the mayor's office is with us now on KMOX. And we did talk to Alex Oliver, who is a real estate investor and has bought multiple properties or investing in multiple properties on Wash Ave. And his idea was, as I'm sure you know, to make it not necessarily a nightlife kind of street, but the desire is to make it more of a businesses and shops and that sort of thing.
Just daily life, a community
yeah,
versus nightclubs. Yeah.
So and I don't know what sort of conversations the city has had with people like him, but how likely is an idea, a plan like that to come to fruition on that street, which was at one time pretty vibrant?
Yes. My father actually had a business on Washington Avenue when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s. So I've seen the evolution of that street. And I can say that we are investing in Washington Avenue, not just from a traffic calming experience, not just from an infrastructure beautification experience, but we are investing directly in businesses on Washington Avenue that are going to add vibrancy. So if you go to Levels, fantastic Nigerian restaurant that's receiving grant funding. If you go to Passport Wine Bar, and if you keep going down the street, I believe there's new wine bar Buddies. We realize that sometimes the market right now will not needs a little help, and by providing these type of offerings, you're going to get more people who want to stay downtown after work and may think about actually living downtown so that they can wake up, run 5 minutes late and get to work, leave work, go to happy hour, or go to a game and get home. I mean, when you make a safe, vibrant environment, people will make a different set of decisions based out of convenience. Also, downtown is a place where you can create friends and just run into people. And that's an experience that you simply can't get in the suburbs.
We were talking off air about Amendment 2, which is the sports betting bill, which is passed by just a few thousand votes, and Mayor Jones was in support of it. What does the city envision that amendment doing for the city itself? Of course, for the state, it's great, and for people who like the sports bet, for the teams, we think there'll be a benefit financially, but what does it do for the city?
I honestly haven't done a huge deep dive into Amendment 2. The mayor made that decision on her political side, but what I will say is that with all things that are kind of related to sin, they usually start in Illinois and come to the city. So I think some folks either made a decision that they genuinely think this is a good idea, and that it will positively impact schools, or they may have made a more realistic decision and said people are going to engage in this conduct anyway, and there are 7 states surrounding Missouri that allow this conduct. And do we want people to just cross a bridge in St. Louis or cross a bridge in Kansas to do this, or do we want to retain the type of revenue or the type of taxes that come? And same thing happened with riverboat casinos. Same thing happened with marijuana. And I think this is just kind of an outgrowth of, an industry that surrounds Missouri and people making a decision as to whether or not they want to realize some of that revenue, the tax revenue that is associated with it, or allow other states to.
Jared Boyd, Chief of Staff for Mayor Jones. We appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in and speaking with us again.
All right. Thank you.
That is Jared Boyd. I'm looking at Amy Marks' scores. I'm Chris Ranji. More of your thoughts on the Odyssey app. You're welcome to leave us a message. Do it. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Can't make it to Kansas City for the big game? No problem.
Kelsey, 3-point stance to the left. Here comes an inside blitz.
Experience every Kansas City Chiefs game like you're in the front row at Ballpark Village.
25-20, downfield block, 10-5.
Join fellow KMOX Chief fans on game day and feel the roar of the crowd right here in St. Louis.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
Chiefs watch parties presented by Jim Beam.
You know what makes every diamond unique and special are his 4 C's. It's cut, clarity, color, and carat weight.
But do you know what makes Diamonds Direct special and unique? It's our own 4 C's. The first C, concept. Diamonds Direct has revolutionized jewelry shopping by eliminating middleman markups and giving you direct access to the world's finest diamonds straight from the diamond cutters. The second C, choice. Diamonds Direct's multi-million-dollar selection of precious diamonds is unparalleled. And with over 4,000 designer settings to choose from, you are empowered to make a decision that works for your style and taste. Third C, confidence. With a nationwide price guarantee, a free lifetime warranty, our unique 110% diamond upgrade policy, and our no pressure, no risk environment, you have total peace of mind. And the fourth C, community. Every year we partner with local charities and nonprofits with significant donations of time, money, and jewelry to make this a better place for everyone. Diamonds Direct, as unique, as special, and as rare as every diamond in our showcase. Proud to call the Lou home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services in November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Details on their website. Schedule your annual garage door tune-up before winter really sets in. Just call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best. Onder Law. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. Life can throw us curveballs, like the car accident that put me in a coma 30 years ago. We all have bumps in the road. Lucky for us, we have Renner to get our garage door back on track. Click RENNER door STL.com today. Giddy up!
Decision 2024.
For breaking news and the latest election updates, stay with News Radio 1120, KMOX.
Okay, I want to say this and I want to say it now. The election was stolen from Kamala. Just kidding. But I just had to say it.
Well, thanks, Tim. Actually, Kamala Harris has spoken to President-elect Trump, and she has conceded the race. How it's supposed to go.
Would you want to hear that conversation?
Kind of. I kind of would.
I'm sure it's just
I would.
very cordial and formulaic, right? Hello, blah, blah,
Probably.
blah. Congratulations. Goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know what else you'd say. Don't screw it up. Something like that. I don't know what you'd do. What do you do?
What would you do?
Hey, dingus. If I had lost an election, I don't know. That's a great call. How would I concede a race? Would I do it? Would I be a gentleman about it? Would I give the birds? What would I do?
I think you would think of all the rude, funny things you could say, but you wouldn't do it. You would
probably.
just follow the rules and say,
Yeah.
nice job.
Because I'm a nice guy, really.
Congratulations.
This text message to 314-436-7900 says, you chose Meet Me in St. Louis, highlighting the 1904 World's Fair for that last segment. St. Louis needs to get out of the past and look to the future. I agree. So when old man Pajeski over here stops picking the music for the show, we can head toward the future.
Taylor Swift mentioned St. Louis in a song. She's like, I'm trying to forget St. Louis, or something about remembering St. Louis. She does.
I'm gonna update our music to the 1910s now tomorrow.
The aughts, 19
The
aughts.
Yeah.
No, I think 1900s is the aughts.
No, you said the aughts were 2000 to 2010.
Right. He's saying he's graduating to the teens.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Yeah.
J.D. Vance is the first Marine to hold the position of vice president.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize that. More of your voice messages are welcome. Of course. 314-436-7900. That's the text message line. But if you want to leave us a voice message, it's on the Odyssey app. You know how that works.
There a law about how long you can keep signs up in the city of St. Louis, and especially out in St. Charles County where I live? I'm just curious.
No, I don't think there is. You can have whatever you want in your yard as long as it's not obscene.
Yeah, I think it all depends on your HOA. You might have a super super picky HOA that says you can have election signs up until a week after the election, or some HOAs don't allow you to have mailboxes. You got to go pick up your mail somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have seen in the city within the last year Trump 2020 or Biden 2020 signs. So I don't think that there's
But you
really
think they kept them up for 4 years, or that they just put them
Good question.
back in the yard?
I don't know if they kept them up the whole time. They are really durable, those signs.
That's a
The
great point.
bastardization of the meaning of the word good. It's actually a sucky and effed up
Oh.
morning, day, week, year, future for the ununited States of America. I am very embarrassed, at the very least, if not ashamed of this country, of which I have to call myself a citizen. It's I cannot respect the country that elects an evil, disgusting human being like he who not can be named.
Okay, that is from Jim. Appreciate the phone call. Jim, I would gather, is not happy with the result.
No, he's not. And this is why, if you're not happy, you can continue to advocate for your cause. You can vote in 2 years, right? If you're not happy,
Midterms.
you can vote in midterms. And I am proud to be an American today, as I was yesterday, as I will be tomorrow. And I hope, like I said, I was not thrilled with either candidate. I had no idea what to expect. And so, yep, we have President Trump. And so as an American, I am hoping and praying for a good leadership. I mean, you're right. You're rooting for the country.
I hope so, too,
I'm rooting
man.
for the people of America, and I'm rooting for the country.
I hope we don't go too extreme, especially if the House goes to Republicans, too. I really hope so. But we'll see. And by the way, there have been a few calls from people, not phone calls, but people saying that if Joe would have stayed in the race, they would have won. I think it would have been even worse.
I think it would have been way worse.
Yeah, so I would put
Way
that
worse.
thought to bed right now. All right, anything you missed is on the Odyssey app. Download it and listen in. We love you. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Amy Marks-Kors, Chris Ranji, and the both of us will hang out with the Dave Glover Show for an hour next on KMOX. We need somebody to replace Wesley Bell. Do I need to have a law degree to do that?
Yeah.
All right, well, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with